the age-long question of who should do the undie washing. For centuries now, this task has been a bone of contention in amongst family around the world. Is it really a gender-specific task? That is undie washing. Is it a gender-specific task, or should men and women be put around baskets to wash undies, or should this approach be rethink? Join us today as we talk about this very exciting topic, Undie Washing Debate. Is it a gender-specific task? And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lifestyle Show. I'm EJ, the host for the Lifestyle Show. So you guys are all welcome. With me in the studio are amazing people that are very much excited, as well as I am, to talk about this very topic. And I'll begin, of course, with introducing the lady. She's been here before, actually. I have Miss Beatrice.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Did I pronounce it well?
No.
Please introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Beatrice Amehueno. I am TV host, event host, both TV and then event, bilingual journalist at your service with informations.
Right,
yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you too for inviting me.
And then I have Mr. I'm sorry, can you introduce yourself for me?
Yeah, okay. My name is Majesty Israel Ugwezi.
Right.
And I am an actor, a director, a script writer,
Odogo.
a host. I think let me stop there now.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
it's
much.
It's nice having you here today. Okay?
Same here.
And then we have Honorable. Sir, please, can you do us the honor by introducing yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Honorable.
Yes.
Robert, Apostle Robert Onochezani.
All right, sir.
I should start. I'm a father.
Yes.
I'm a husband.
Yes. Oh.
I'm an educator.
Yes.
And then also, I'm a leader, the former General Secretary of the Nigerian community here in Togo. Let's stop here, like my son said.
Amazing. Thank you all very much for joining us today, okay?
Thank you.
You guys are welcome. Now, like I introduced the topic earlier, Undie Washing Debate. Is it a gender-specific task? There's a reason why we brought this topic in for discussion. If you check, this has, like I said in my introduction, it has been a bone of contentions in, different families around the world. You hear the women complaining and asking questions like, are we being marginalized? Why is it that it cannot be done equally? Why can't he do it and I also do it? Why is it so, this? And the man is also asking, why are you complaining? This is your task, or it is not your task, or I can help, or I cannot help. We don't really know what is happening. So we are here actually to discuss this very particular topic, and then we have an educationist that is going to be helping us answer most of the critical questions. That is when we get hooked up. Okay, so are we ready?
Sure.
All right then. So my first question, right, it's to you, sir. Do you think washing undie or washing underwear is a task that only women should handle?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. For me, I would say it shouldn't be.
Okay.
Or it's not. Because as a guy, I have the responsibility to wash my undies. And then my partner also have that responsibility to wash the undies. So it shouldn't be a specific task to any particular gender.
Okay.
That is what I would say.
That's what you say as a man, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Beatrice, do you?
Yes.
Do you agree with that? She's even smiling. Right?
Yeah, what he said,
Right.
it makes sense because I would have just said, okay, let's stop there. He understands everything completely.
Okay.
But if this is not a bone of contention, if it's not any reason why we're talking about this today, then I think we wouldn't be here. So there's something we need to clarify. So before I start, I think I have two rhetorical questions to ask. Is that, do we all agree with gender equality?
Okay,
And that's one.
That's it.
And then
Let's leave that
because we have
question,
that in the theme of today, gender-based task, don't we? So if we do agree on gender equality, no problem. And then I think we should come back to what we call this thing we're washing, right? They said underwear. The Englishman said underwear is something you wear beneath your clothing. It's under, right? So which means it's private, not to be seen. So I don't think there should be like the need to call it a responsibility and even attaching it to gender. It's something private to you. You do your stuff. So
that's your answer, right?
Let me just stop there for now. I think.
Yeah. Daddy, do you have any take on this, please?
Yeah, I think the two of them are doing good. yeah.
Okay.
But let me bring it to a typical defined relationship, that is husband and wife. Let me bring it to that. So in an environment where we have the husband and we have the wife, then the question now is, should the wife watch the undies for the man, or should the man watch the undies for the woman? Right. Good. And then at the same time, we identify is it the scenario here? Is it the Western, or we are talking as Africans?
Yeah.
Because if we are talking as Africans, then as a typical African man, right? Washing of undies, like they said, is private, but at the same time, it's a domestic work.
Exactly.
And then there is division of labor in the African marriage. So the domestic is always passed to the women. So if washing of undies is part of the domestic, then the woman should do it.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
He
shocked you back.
Okay.
He shocked you back.
Okay, let's set the blocks one by one.
He shocked you. He shocked you back. Okay. You want to say something?
Okay, so I heard something when Sarah was talking. He said domestic, and he mentioned something. He said division of labor, and that's why, because of division of labor in a marriage or in a relationship, that's why the responsibility or the task of washing underwear is being pushed to the woman. Now,
that's what you're saying actually leads to your own question. So you probably answer everything. Do you feel like washing underwear is a task that is often assumed to be yours? So while you're answering this, because we have limited time, right?
Yeah,
so while you're answering this, you do that.
So I think that's two questions in one, but I'll give the same answer for the both of them at the same time, trying to just understand what he's trying to say. So I think that washing of underwears should not be predominantly tasked to the women, because he made mention of division of labor in a marriage, in a relationship. He made mention of domestic chores, and that is the reason why washing is being pushed to the women. But I don't think it's to be seen that kind of way, because we're talking about division of labor. Wonderful, because there are these same men who want their wives to be working class ladies, who want their wives to be at the top of the crew. So how can she be given such a task, like to do the domestic show? She's being tagged as Madam Operator of the all domestic staffs, and then all domestic tasks. So, and then she's been considered as the only person that is this is your thing to do.
Okay.
This is only what you can do. This is what you bring to the table. Doing domestic stuff all the time? I don't think so, because in the Asian community, according to the Asian Development their bank in 2020, according to their survey, they said 54% of this task are being shared between men and women. That's in the urban area.
Okay. And
then talking about urban area, we're talking about urbanism, and we're talking about civilization. And that to bring us to gender equality. What am I driving at? If today we've accepted urbanization, we've accepted civilization, why don't you accept sharing of responsibilities? And why do you still tag washing or doing the laundries to the women alone, when they're also sharing the bills with you?
Do you want to answer this?
Okay, based on what our father said, domestic choice, as it's been said, that is being pushed to the ladies. I think I will agree to that. But the underwear,
there's a but coming.
The underwear is what I will not really support.
Okay.
Because when you talk about underwear, it is supposed to be your private something, and your hygiene shouldn't be something you should pass to someone to take care of your hygiene.
Okay.
Personally, I don't see myself giving my underwears to my partner for any reason, unless there is an agreement. Okay, she just feel like, okay, let me do it for you because I love you. But it shouldn't be a responsibility that will be passed to my partner because she's assumed to be the lady, and every domestic choice. I don't think even that underwear should be part of the domestic choice. Yeah.
Can I come in?
Yes, please, you can. Voila. There's problems.
That's it.
Yeah. I always thought behind this relationship, before I got married,
Okay.
if you're inviting your girlfriend,
Yes.
you can even go and buy a new undie. You don't let your girlfriend to see your undie, to see that. But when you're married, it's totally different.
Of course.
When you're married, you cannot hide your undie from your wife. And then at the same time, because it's a private stuff, like I said, it's a borrowed culture. It's not inherent in Africa. And then the people who gave us the culture, they have developed technology to make it
Easy, yes.
But here in Africa, how many people have washing machine?
Exactly.
Because if you have it, you just put it in there. You don't need anybody to do it.
Yeah.
But how many people have it? And in Africa, what my daughter is saying, marriage is not partnership. It's not equal partnership like you have in the Western world. In African context, marriage is the man is the head of the family.
Definitely.
And that is the typical African culture. And at the same time, like I said, most husbands are older than their wives.
Okay.
When
age comes in.
Okay.
So if I'm older than you, you cannot tell me to come and wash your undies for you. It doesn't show respect as an African man. And at the same time, the other side, women are very delicate.
Sure.
Women, the nature has made it so.
Yes.
So a man could not easily, even in African culture, there's a state a woman will be, which they go through monthly.
Yes.
He doesn't even cook for you.
Oh,
You understand?
Okay.
And even spiritually, in that state, women are regarded as being unclean spiritually. You understand?
Right.
So a man, even washing the undies of the woman,
Right.
there's a lot of question marks there. But like I always say, marriage is, there must be an element of maturity.
Yes.
So if I love my wife so much and that there is a kind of situations, I can do that for the sake of love. And then my wife too, but as an African, we are talking on this, not only the man, the kids also we are on this.
Yes.
Who watches that of the kids?
That's true.
Who does that?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. So,
And I
agree.
you still want to talk?
Yeah, I want to say something.
Okay.
I think Daddy is trying to make a lot of points here.
Okay.
But I want us to
there's still
understand. Yeah, I want us to understand something that Daddy is pointing at the Western side,
Yes.
But one thing we should understand that before the Western even came into existence, there was nothing like undies. So
He said he made mention of rapper and all of those things that you
yes, so those are just rappers. I am not sure they put on this before the rappers. It's just the
No, there's a way they do it.
there's a way they do it, but at the end of the day, it is still a rapper.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, but
at the end of the day, it's still not what undies. It's still
a
what rapper. So when I get my rapper off and then I give it to my partner to wash, I don't think it's undies. My partner is still going to see it as okay. It's still what a rapper. So it's not really undies.
That undie, that rapper we are talking, is not big rapper. It's a special, they cut it and there's a way
I
they
know.
do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then when they do it, it remains inside and then they put something
On top of it, okay.
So when you put something on top, it
It's
becomes an underwear.
Yeah, it comes automatically.
Underwear.
So the question is,
So-
so the question is, who still does that laundry,
That washing
when he removes that underwear? Because you just contradicted yourself.
No.
You just said that when he removes it and then gives it to her to wash, it is not an undie. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Yeah.
You just contradicted yourself because he said it's an undie.
I am saying
Right.
because what he said is he's bringing in the West that before the Western came in,
Right.
that Africa culture states that women should do all the domestic chores, including the undies. And then what I'm bringing forth here is this: before the Western even came into existence, there was nothing like undies because we don't put on those things. It's just rapper.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just trying to say.
All right, it's fine. No qualms.
Yeah, so I think I agree with what Sel was saying. I'm just trying to like make quite a different point, something we're not really viewing. I agree with what he said when he said that the underwear is something really private, and if we want to come back to the African context, it's something really sacred, because it has a lot of meaning. Like what he was saying, that when the woman is like in that period, like in a cycle, she's considered unclean. Even the Bible proves it. During the time of Rachel, when she gave birth to Joseph, she was like considered unclean, and even her father couldn't even go close to her because she's in that moment. So if you should agree and be like, okay, let's share this thing, do you think that in that time Rachel would be like, okay, my husband Jacob, come and do the laundry, even with the fact that I'm in my menstrual cycle? Like, I want to like just put out there that we should respect this mutual respect thing. Like, we should like take into consideration the mutual respect. And also, due to the fact that we have urbanism, civilization and everything, like we have adopted the Western culture, just like Daddy said, but we shouldn't forget where we come from. Our traditional culture shows that we should respect each other, and then we should also respect tradition by taking into consideration some certain things. For example, how sacred that kind of thing is. We shouldn't just throw it away just because the Western world brought it to us and we've adopted a lot of things from them, so we could also adopt this one. I am not saying it's something the women should be pushed to. Right?
Thank you. Before we leave this very question, so I have one question for you. It's with regards to this gender-based duty thing. So when she's pregnant, that I'm coming in regards of marriage. So you're married and then she's pregnant and then she gives birth. Who does that lingerie? Is it not the man?
Okay, thank you. That's a very good question. I will talk as an Igbo man.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, please.
So, in our culture, there's what we call inomugo. I will explain it. For example, my daughter, if my daughter gives birth, is married and gives birth, my wife, who is the mother of my daughter, will go to
the husband's place?
Yeah, to the husband's place, and stays with the woman for a certain period
of time.
Good.
Okay.
And then this certain period, the mother assumes all this duty. So the mother, apart from teaching the young mother how to nurse, it teaches the woman how to wash all those things, because the baby, not like these guys who are using a pampers.
Yes, please.
Earlier, it's not pampers. There's what they call napkin.
Yes, please.
So you have to learn how to put it. And sometimes when it dirties, you don't wash it easily. There are techniques to washing it. So this is what the older mother does. The grandmother now does. Teaching and then taking care. She cooks for the woman, because at that moment the woman is weak. So she cooks, she takes care, and then does all those services.
So in a situation where, in a marriage where the mother is not there, who assumes that responsibility?
Yes, when the mother is not there, sometimes the senior sister takes that. And then there's always somebody that plays the role of a mother.
So you're
in
saying
the
the father never assumes that responsibility. Not the omugo responsibility, but I'm talking about the husband. He probably want to help.
In the typical Igbo culture, the father doesn't do that. When there's no mother, there's somebody
the husband do it?
Right now, the way things are going, there are people that, if you're in Togo here, maybe your mom, you cannot afford your mom to come
over.
So sometimes you do that, or you get somebody close. Maybe there is somebody from your town, or an elderly woman that is friendly to the family. You bring the person to come in. You understand?
Yes.
But not as a man. That is why I said there's a sense of maturity that is demanded in marriage.
Sure.
That person coming from outside will not do everything for you. I had an experience like that. My first daughter. So I couldn't bring my mom then. So I did the omugo myself. I took care of my wife myself. Yes.
So it's possible.
It's possible, because I was going to ask that, is it that they should never do
what
it?
You also want to hear whether the man can actually assume that responsibility.
It's a helping thing, but not a gender-based thing, right?
Beatrice, I have a question for you. Do you feel? Do you see it to be emasculating? I mean, do you see it to be a pressure on the women to do laundry? right? Do you feel pressured whenever such duties come in place?
Well, I don't think I do feel pressured, because as we've been saying since we started this, we made mention of the African context and then the Western world. As an African lady, I know that since my bringing up, like when I was a kid till now, I've been taught how to do home activities, how to like take care of myself. So if I can take care of myself, why not do it for somebody I love? I don't feel like a pressure, but I feel like I would feel it as a pressure if
it becomes mandatory.
If it becomes mandatory, if it becomes like you're ordering me, you're telling me that I have to do it because I'm the one to do it. Now you're not tagging it, you're pinning it on me. That's when it becomes a pressure.
All right, then. Thank you very much for that.
Sure.
Now, I have one question for you. Do you think gender role plays a significant role in who does the laundry? Be careful with this question. You are answering this question based on upbringing now.
Okay.
Yes.
So, gender role. Okay, let me hear your answer.
All right. I wouldn't say it is supposed to be a specific gender rule.
How were you raised?
Personally,
be honest.
I am raised to do my own things as a guy.
Yeah.
Because we are 7 boys, so we only have a lady in our midst. So I think everything we did whilst we were growing up was basically do your own work,
take care
wash
of yourself,
your own thing, do your own thing. So you don't now remove it and give to your sister. You don't remove it and give it to your mom to come and wash. So I think in that aspect, boy, do your thing, girl, do your thing.
Yeah.
Don't expect, a lady to come and do it for you.
Do families, do families still raise their kids based on this thinking? I mean, our contemporary society now.
Okay.
Do you think it's okay to breed up a female child using this perspective?
Yeah, I'm a family man.
Yes, please.
And I'm raising my kids that way. But the problem is getting a kind of old fashion.
Okay.
Because the kids, these are Google children.
The Gen Z.
Yeah, the present children.
Yes, please.
So they see you as old school when you try to do that. And then most parents, the modern day parents, they now try to dance to the tune of this younger generation. And sometimes, just like what she said earlier, it becomes a little bit easier for them, because if they can leave the gadgets for the children, they will have more time to do their own thing.
Yes, please.
So because of that, those things are not yet done. But we thank God that since we have, these are areas where the churches and the schools are playing some important role here. Because in school, they will teach you how to take care of your private stuff.
Personal hygiene.
And then, in some churches too, they teach that.
Yes.
So, but when it comes to family, I say some parents don't have the time. Yeah, and then most kids also, they don't like that kind of training.
All right, sir. Now, sir, let me... hold on.
Okay.
Just hold on. Sir, let me hear your final take on this very topic before we round up with it.
The gender, whether it's a specific gender
specific,
issue.
yes, please.
Yes, I think I support him. It's not washing of undies, although
please, can you speak based on both marriage and relationship?
Yes, washing of undies. Why I say is not a gender specific is. Supposing I have 2 women in my house, I have my wife and I have my sister. So if women are supposed to wash on this, should I give it to my wife's sister to wash for me? I shouldn't do that, because it's private stuff. All right? Good. So it's not a gender-based issue. It's a borrowed culture and it's private. So you need to take care. But because marriage demands a level of maturity and it's a love relationship, so within the couple, they can do that. A man can decide to do it for the wife, and the wife can decide to do it for the man.
Also in a relationship.
In a husband-wife relationship in marriage. Depends on their level of understanding.
All right, sir. Yes, please, let me hear you.
Okay.
Your final
I wanted to is it my final
You wanted to say and then your final.
Yeah, I wanted to say something based on what Daddy was saying, that these days our parents don't really have that time. So they rely on the gadgets and then rely on the schools and then the churches. So I wanted to ask, is that the best way?
Relying on other people to do the taking care
Is that the best way? Because I think the way I was brought up by my parents, it really helped me. Okay. That I don't even bother myself if my partner wants to wash my things or not. So I want to ask, is it really helping?
We can't really answer that question now because we are out of time.
I think let's leave the viewers do the answering.
Yes, please. The viewers will do the answering for us. So do you have a final take on it?
Okay, my final take on this is that in everything, whether relationship or we that are yet to enter into marriage, understanding is the key.
In relationship.
Once two of you are able to understand each other, I don't think we'll have problems regarding who should do the laundry, who should do it. I am sick, I am not sick. Whether, sometimes pretense also come in. Pretense come in. Like the lady really want the man to wash it, so she can just fake, okay, I'm not feeling fine or this and that and that. So my own is understanding is the key.
How about you? Please make it as brief as possible.
Sure. So I think that doing the washing, laundry or on this washing is not a gender-based kind of thing, and it should not be tagged on the women. Like Daddy just said, we can just in a relationship where you both understand each other, like he said, I think communication and maturity, just as he said, is key. If we understand each other and we are matured, we can know that at this point in time, we want to show affection. You can do what I want you to do for me, and I do the same thing. But you should just know that you can't pin it on me, or you can't say it's something you have to do because you're a lady. You can't do that. Understanding and maturity is key.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, Mr.
Majesty
for coming. Thank you.
Beatrice
for coming. Apostle, please, thank you so very much. We're still going to be hosting him next week. He'll be back next week, guys. So final take on this. You guys have heard them individually talk about it. It's all about mutual understanding. It has to do with communication, and if we're bringing it down to African perspective or African understanding, deeply rooted in, and we also include age and age difference, it is very customary that a woman does the laundry in marriage. But in a relationship, we talk about mutual respect, and then we talk about the willingness to want to do it. So it is not by force. If I don't want to do it, you will not beat me. So if I say I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. But that doesn't mean the relationship is over. It has to do with understanding and maturity. Thank you all very much for watching. Ashima, your girl EJ. Don't forget to follow the Lifestyle Show on New World TV playlist. Like, subscribe. Until we come your way next week, stay blessed, stay safe. Plenty love from me to you. Bye bye.